interesting thing about
He's a
leadership
leader
is that
in the
it's
simplest of
contagious.
forms,
Every
too.
relationship
He
he
leads
has,
by example.
he really invests into it.
He leads by doing it the right way every day of his life, and I think that's what makes him special. You know, he's a young guy that's probably not the best athlete in the world. He's probably not the best student in the world, but I think his competitive nature and his work ethic separate him from everybody else.
He really pours into those relationships. That's probably one of the biggest things that I know about Quinn, is that every relationship he has, he really invests into it.
He's as active off the court as anybody I've ever coached. In fact, I've cautioned Quinn once this year about spreading himself too thin. But he's so involved here on campus. You know, he's a student representative on the President's Council, speaks directly to the President. He's very involved in the SAAC, the student-run group there. But off campus, you know, with the Williamsburg Community Chapel, he's just so involved.
He can be seen every Thursday night. Tried Fellowship, our college ministry on campus, getting up after our speaker and offering some supporting thoughts. He also leads high school small group here at the chapel. Anybody that knows Quinn has benefited from knowing him.
I think he's made as big an impact in this community, not just the College of William & Mary, but in Williamsburg, of any player that I've been around.
Everyone, in some sense, is a product of where they come from, and I don't think I'm an exception to that. But yeah, I had a great role models growing up, and my mom and my dad, and I was given a great example, but at the same time I was able to learn from myself so that those things would become part of who I was, and not just an imitation of somebody else.
I go back to his freshman year. We had just played James Madison here at home, and Quinn was 1 for 9 in the game. He was 0 for 4 from the three-point line. We had a meeting as a team afterwards, and as I started to leave the gym 45 minutes to an hour after the game, he had his uniform jersey back on. He was up here on the court shooting for 45 minutes. Disappointed in his performance, but determined to make it right. And you know, Quinn was not a great shooter when he arrived at William & Mary, and now, I guess for the last 2.5 years, he's been about a 50% three-point shooter. So in some ways, he's a self-made man.
He either is there to encourage at the right time, or he's there to prod on, or he's there just to console. He's just a guy that has been taught from a young age and now really owns the fact that being in a relationship with people means you got to get in the boat with them and get into their situation.
It's just kind of the culmination of everything that you work for. You see the coaches and everybody on the bench excited. You see the fans standing up, cheering you on. It's just that's really why you play. Is you play for the people around you, you play for the love of the game, and you play for the school too.